gotta admit, I don't really give Augie a lot of credit. Augie actually is the one that's usually the voice of reason in most of the episodes. But the ending was absolutely beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it was a very touching moment, very mature moment for someone as young as Augie. And in fact, it was a very beautiful bonding moment between him and Riley. I don't give him much credit. I should. Well, when credit's due, and he's not that annoying, and neither is Ava. But I don't think anyone can be as annoying as Ava. All right, y'all. Um, just as I was actually starting to give up on this, just as when I was starting to give up on the ships altogether for this show, because it seems like that Disney is doing their best to kill it off, we end up getting two amazing ships. One that was completely left field, and the other one that was the most beautiful moment I have ever seen in my entire life. It was gorgeous. And for Ryarkle fans, I know you are losing your minds right now because that was the most beautiful moment that I have ever seen in my life. The fact that Riley was that, I mean, she really knows Farkle. Like, seriously, she really gave a heartfelt gift to Farkle. And it was something that put so much effort into it. Not to mention that, she pretty much said, I love you right in front of Smackle, but Smackle probably doesn't think anything of it. Of course, girlfriend and everything. But in my humble opinion, she knows Farkle far more than Smackle would ever know him. Sure, they happen to be geniuses, but I really feel that that's what limits them. They're not that connected. They're connected better as friends, but in my opinion, not so much romantically. I see so much chemistry and so much romance coming from, and I know it sounds weird, but I just feel so much coming from Riley and Farkle. I am all for Ryarkle right now. Just when I thought we were not going to have a ship at all in this episode, we ended up having two. The most beautiful Ryarkle moment I have ever witnessed in my life. Now let's move on to the second one that was completely left field. I'm calling it right now, y'all. Zarkle. Zarkle is my new ship, and I am claiming it. The reason why is because Zay's gift to Smackle was beautiful. It was. Even though, in my humble opinion, that book should have been, it should have been like, look, there's a lot of things you shouldn't do, and there's a lot of things you should do, but in the very end, I know that that there's a lot of things that I like about you, and I don't want that to change. I wish it was acknowledged to the fact that she overly flirts with Lucas and how completely disrespectful that is. But other than that, the things that Zay actually said to Smackle was absolutely beautiful, especially the fact that he liked her voice. And the chemistry between those two was off the freaking charts. I guess just for me personally, I felt a ton of chemistry coming off those guys. And maybe I'm feeling something completely different. But I really do believe that those two are better off being together than her being with Farkle, even though it makes sense to a lot of people. In my opinion, it makes sense for Zay and Smackle to be together. It just does. Because even though the Smackle is completely honest with zero filter whatsoever, she has, everything that comes out of her mouth is practically truth. And that's the reason why Zay kind of likes her, because Zay has always been an outspoken type of guy. He's been a guy that gives zero craps about how you feel. He did the exact same thing to Josh. He will do the exact same thing to any friend of his. That is why that I feel that they're better being together. I am all for Zarkle. I am. Or Zagle. I'm just calling it Zarkle. I'm just calling it Zarkle or Zackle. Smackle. If you guys can come up with a name for Zay and Smackle, by all means, leave it in the comments because I can't freaking think of it. I said Zarkle, but that's Farkle. That doesn't make any sense. But other than that, Smackle, maybe it's Smackle. I don't know. But if you guys can come up with a name, by all means, leave it in the comments. I am curious to hear what you guys think about it because I am all for Zay and Smackle to get together. That's just me. I am all for it, man. And gosh, their chemistry was way off the charts. I honestly just love those two being together. And maybe it's because I have been literally starved from the ships of this show. So maybe I'm just overanalyzing it a little bit. But it would have been nice to have a Lucaya moment. Oh my gosh, it would have been off the charts to have a Lucaya moment. But Lucas, of course, was MIA. And I'm still going to look up to whether or not Lucas is still on the show. because a part of me feels like that Lucas kind of dipped out a little bit early. I could be wrong. A lot of people says that Girl Meets Week 16 is the game changer. So it could be a possibility that he might be on an episode, and we're gonna have to wait till next year for that next episode to come out, because it's not really being promoted at all. So I think that Girl Meets Christmas Maya is going to be the final episode of 2016, and then we gotta wait till next year for the season 3's finales. Hopefully, we'll find out whether or not we'll get a season 4 by then. But at this point, we're not gonna see either Sean or Lucas for a while. Now, the fact that Sean wasn't in this episode was kind of a cop out and pretty pathetic. But from what I've heard, is that Shaw would rather be behind the director's camera, be in the sitting in the director's chair or the producer's chair, or be behind the camera. He would rather direct the entire show than actually being a performer. So if that was the case, he shouldn't have married Katie in the first place. There should have never been a ceremony, that he should have never met her, and he should have never tried to make a relationship if he didn't plan on going straight through with it. But in my humble opinion, I think that the entire cast is just fed up at how completely saccharine everything is. But I really do like the fact that they kind of threw us a bone here. They kind of gave us not one but two ships, a potential ship that has a lot going for it. I'm rooting for Zay and Smackle. I can't think of the name Smackle. Other than that, guys, like I said, leave in the comments. But as for the overall story itself, yes, it was over the top cheesy. Yes, it was over the top comedy, especially coming from Riley. But in my opinion, it did show a lot for what was going on and what Maya went through. But here's the biggest thing that kind of gets me. Sean has done everything, went far beyond the Call of Duty to show Maya that he loves her. He knows that Maya went through the same exact life that he went through. So why would he run from her when he did stuff that's just as crazy? Shoot, the guy tried to travel the world. He literally tried to leave high school, travel the world on a bus to Paris. And I'm not talking about Paris, Texas, y'all. I'm talking about Paris, France. Yeah, I actually forgot back in the day from Boy Meets World, I forgot how Sean really wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. But other than that, the guy has done a lot more crazy stuff in his high school years leading on up to his college years than anybody you can ever think of in that series. He pretty much can relate to everything that Maya's gone through. Why does Maya feel like she has to run from him? Because he pretty much threw all his cards out on the table and showed her how much he loved her, and she did the same exact thing back. I thought we had this resolved. Why are we going back to this? Seriously. When it comes to Maya, Maya should have some resolve. She shouldn't have any fear or any doubt that Sean does not love her. And shoot, she loves Sean, so does it matter? No. I like the episodes for season 2. I think it was season 2. No, I think it was season 3, leading on up to the wedding. I like the fact that she met Sean. They actually did start bonding, and they started developing a father-daughter relationship. I love seeing that. And it showed me that she kind of let her guard down and stop forgetting about the past and acknowledge the fact that he loves her for who she is, and she loves him for who he is. They're practically family now. And that's the one thing I thought that Maya had resolved during season 3, in the middle of season 3, I believe. But at this point, they keep going back, rewinding back the clock, saying that Maya's an emotional wreck when she really isn't. And the fact that Maya got that broken clock, in my opinion, Maya was no longer broken when she started having hope. When she got hope, that not only hope for her own personal future, but hope for the fact that her mom is going to find love with Sean, that is when she became less broken. She's not a broken clock. She is a healed clock. That clock has been fixed. That clock is now ticking, and that clock can actually continue to turn. That's what I saw Maya was. I never saw her as something being broken. I saw her as something being fixed when she got hope. And that's the one thing that bothers me about this series, is that they keep rewinding back the clock to continuously make Maya broken when she has been healed for a long time. Now, I'm hoping that somehow, if they actually continue to do a season 4, they will allow Maya to be her. And stop trying to make her into Riley. Stop trying to make her broken. And start acknowledging that this chick has healed. Has healed. Is healed. Is healed. Present tense. That's the one thing that I want to see. But other than that, guys, my overall episode is this. The presents themselves for the Secret Santa was actually one of the best moments. And even though that Riley was over the top cheesy, I love the Ryarkle moment between her and Farkle, and I love the moment between Zay and Smackle, the Zarkle moment, the Snackle moment. I don't know. You guys come up with a name. But I love the moment between Zay and Smackle, and I love the moment between Ryarkle. I love them. It would have been nice to see Lucaia, but we're not going to get that. So that's just too much to ask. But between that, in my opinion, is just complete filler. I know that when they actually did have the story towards the middle, it became a little bit more heartfelt, especially about the elf. And I honestly thought that that was a very beautiful moment, and especially a very emotional moment to see exactly what Maya and her mom went through when Kermit left them, and how they were trying to pick up the pieces, and how her mom was doing her best to pick up the pieces even though her dad wasn't there. That was a touching moment. I'm not going to poo-poo on everything about this episode. I will say towards the middle of the episode was indeed very heartfelt, and it did tug on the heartstrings a little bit. But in the very beginning, Good Gravy was over the top cheesy. But that is what is always going to be. But I am going to say that it did not overall disappoint. Even though the episode did have a lot of meaning, especially when it came to the Secret Santa, it would have been nice to know something about Lucas. Besides the fact that he's not there. And then how Riley was saying, oh no, he's doing this. You didn't really do anything, so technically, yeah, you didn't really do anything. But other than that, guys, the ship's moment is pretty much put it like maybe in the middle for me. Like seriously, I would say the episode is like right here. It's not so much up here or down here. It's in the middle. I would pretty much say it's about average. But guys, I enjoyed that Ryoko moment so much to the point where I was like, yes, we got some ships, y'all. Or maybe it's just the fact that I'm just ship starved. Maybe, I don't know. But other than that, guys, what are your thoughts about this episode? Leave a comment section below. Let me know how you guys feel about it, because I am excited about Ryarkle. If Ryarkle is in-game, I'm all for it. If Smackle is in-game, I'm all for it. I'm still rooting for Lucaia, though, but I'm not holding my breath. But other than that, I'm still rooting for Ryarkle, I'm rooting for Smackle, and I'm definitely rooting for Lucaia. I am hoping that all of them become in-game. That's just me. But other than that, guys, that is it for me.